personally witnessed this one, was in SoFi for the game in which Jim Harbaugh, who just needed 12 quarters to remake the Chargers in his own smash mouth image. 2 wins and a loss, but you could see what they were doing in Justin Herbert's gimpy, and that said, they had a Chiefs team in their house, a calling card contest for the Chargers to say all the nonsense. We've lost 5 in a row and 8 of 10 against the Chiefs, but it's a new world now, and it's our house, which I know is what the other SoFi team's name, does. And Chiefs come in, and the Chargers 3-and-out them, and they move down the field and score. Ladidi McConkey.
Ladidi.
With a gorgeous grab in the end zone.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. And they're up. And then the next play, the next series for the Chiefs, interception, an overthrow of a wide-open Kelsey, who had an excellent game yesterday compared to his first 3 games for sure. And the most disastrous interception, I think, of Mahomes' career. Wow. Because you can't say, I haven't seen every interception, and I know some might have occurred in the playoff that was difficult for them to come back from. But Mahomes trying to make a tackle, connects with the knee of his best wide receiver, and Rashee Rice is going to be done for the year, folks. It looked ugly. Yeah. It was particularly ugly. And the Chargers wind up going up on the Chiefs in this game by 2 scores. And then the Chiefs won it anyway. I'm telling you guys, this may be a team that you think can get got because now Rice is out. And Hollywood Brown, who is supposed to be additive for Rashee Rice, is not walking through that door anytime soon. And Isaiah Pacheco is now out.
For a few more weeks. And Kelsey looked less than Kelsey through the first 3 weeks. And so on and so on and so on. But the Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champs for a reason. 15 has a lot to do with it. 87, obviously. And 95, Chris Jones has a lot to do with it as well. Sure. But so does the rest of that team that you might need a flip chart or a program to know their names. But they just make plays. And this kid, Xavier Worthy, I mean, for 25 minutes, the Chargers were whipping the Chiefs, whipping them. And then Mahomes goes up top, one play to Xavier Worthy. Touchdown. And you just got the sense in the building this thing was a wrap. And sure enough, after falling down 10-0, the Chiefs score 17 unanswered and walk out of the building with a win, and they're 4-0, and they're now 2.5 up on the Chargers and 2 up on everybody else. And discount them at your peril. Again, well, they don't have their receivers. They don't have a running back. Oh, Kareem Hunt now strolls in and gets 69 yards rushing. I know Carson Steele put one on the ground. That's not great.
And then sort of got quasi-benched.
I don't know if he got quasi-benched or it's just, as soon as I heard Kareem Hunt was coming back, that's it. I mean, he knows the offense. They know him. You saw what he did last year in Cleveland. I mean, this is going to be his gig until Pacheco comes back, personally. I saw that. That's why I try to get him in every damn fantasy league I'm in. And, they took Dobbins out defensively. He averaged 2.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they are just better than you. I mean, I know that's just saying. That's just it. The 2-time defending champion Chiefs are just better than you. Yeah, 4 times now. And every single time, like, well, if Isaiah Likely only had a smaller foot, or, well,
Cincinnati got a couple breaks here and there, flag here, flag there. And, well, Atlanta got a flag that didn't get a flag that they should have gotten. And, well, I mean, the Chargers.
I mean, you can well that all they want, but that does matter. Yeah. They've definitely not looked as good and crisp as they have in years past.
And Chris pointed out this morning they could really be 0-4.
And repeat. Rinse and repeat.
It's also September.
Rinse and repeat.
You think they're the best team in the AFC still?
They don't look it.
Right.
But when it comes down to it,
they got the baddest
man
walking, man.
They didn't look it last year either.
Mahomes doesn't look that good either.
No,
guys.
it looks. As a matter of fact, it's I mean, I could give you the stats that it's the first time in his career X, Y, and Z passer rating, and he hasn't done this and he hasn't done that. And then I look up, they're 4-0, and I'm just not going to take the cheese. Last year it was just they looked terrible. They got beat in Kansas City on Christmas Day by the Raiders, which was, in everybody's mind, a full-on confirmation of the thought that the Chiefs were going to get got. That solidified it in everybody's mind. The Raiders and their interim coach coming into their building on Christmas Day for the whole country to watch. And they lost. Full-on confirmation they're going to get got. They're not going to repeat. See you later. There yesterday's news. Next up for the Chiefs, without Rashee Rice, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. You take a look around the league and say, who can they get for Rashee Rice by the end of October? And as they now take on New Orleans on a Monday night before a bye, and then at San Francisco, and then right there, right before the trade deadline, you're going to stare across the field at Devontae Adams, who's going to be like, does he send up a flare? What do you think? But it would take...
Chris, you think he's like, hey...
I mean, as you know, literally hell would freeze over.
I was about to say, it would take a very warm place to freeze over for those teams to match. But a guy who was in that building yesterday, Amari Cooper, could get got for real inexpensive. You take a look at his salary and what it would be. That said, the next four aren't easy. Home for New Orleans, at San Francisco, at Vegas, where they won the Super Bowl, home for Tampa on a Monday night. And then there's Denver, which has one of the best defenses in the National Football League. And come at me on that one. At Buffalo, it's not easy. We'll see.
Denver's defense, huh?
But right now, Minnesota, Seattle, and Kansas City are your last remaining undefeated teams.
Yeah, nobody had that.
So I saw it with my own two eyes. They didn't look crisp. That Rashee Rice moment getting carted off was sickening. It just gave you a pit in your stomach to see him carted off and seeing how the Chiefs were reacting to it. And the quarterback being the one who connected with him.
The way that it happened.
Right? So,
it was weird.
You think that now they're down 10. They see that happening, and it was the Chargers' day. Not so much. At your peril. Discount them. At your peril.
Is that I'm not going to say anything about the Chiefs here. Is that a weird kind of like, well, Chargers chargered again?
No, I'm just, you just don't know if they're and you see Justin Herbert. Herbert might be looking around right now and saying, I used to have 350 yards passing and running around and everything like that. And right now, it's a tough buy-in to just run it and not have the high flyers and Keenan Allen over there and have Mike Williams over there. I also saw with my own two eyes his ankle wrapped. It looked as thick as his shin.
Yeah.
So he's not there yet. They're on a bye. Boy, the good news is he got through the game. They're on a bye. Let him take off. And then this one at Denver, guys. Denver is coming after you. Hopefully he's going to be spry because Denver can hit you. Ask Baker, ask Aaron Rodgers. Wow. An interesting Monday night, or at Arizona, home for New Orleans, at Cleveland. I'm not saying that, they're turning into a pumpkin. They're 2-2, which I think they would have signed for before the beginning of the season. 2-2. But, man, they had the Chiefs down 10 in their house, dealing with the loss of their best wide receiver, and the Chiefs just like flicked it right off.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.